morning. Can everyone hear me? Yes, that's my second sound check. Okay. Good morning and welcome. A year ago, I opened our very successful 5th annual Teaching and Learning Conference. Being a lover of the adage, if it ain't bust, don't fix it, I'm going to use the same welcome speech today. So here goes. It is with enormous pleasure and great pride that we welcome you to our 6th annual Teaching and Learning Conference. Pleasure because we know what awaits you, and pride because organising and delivering a conference of this nature is a great achievement for such a small institution. I think it was at this point last year when I mentioned something about punching above our weight, and I think it's at this point that the adage, if it ain't bust, don't fix it, no longer applies. And I think what we should be talking about this year is being ahead of our game. Over the last year, we became the first alternative provider to receive a commendation in the Higher Education Review, and we presented on our commendation in the QA Annual Conference. We had a full suite of degrees in accounting, law and business validated by our partner institution, the University of Northampton. And in many ways, we became a leader in the alternative provider field. We led the way in monitoring and improving student engagement using vital source analytics, and collaboratively explored research routes into the use of e-books. I ran this text through our head of e-learning, and he said that it was a little stretching the point to say led the way, but I know how he doesn't like to accept praise, so I've pulled rank on him on that one, and we did lead the way in this field. We redefined the prevent duty, which has taken up many higher education providers' time over the last year. We redefined it, and we've turned it into a call for positive action and the re-evaluation of the role of higher education in providing an alternative, informed, educated choice about one's life. We are going to encourage and not prevent. We joined the first wave of TAC in the Ban the Box campaign, and if you haven't heard of that, you're going to hear quite a lot about it later from Dr. Joe Stevens. This is an area of equality, diversity and inclusion that we feel very strongly about. Along the way, we also supported and taught over 1,000 students. The theme of this year's conference is redefining the inclusive curriculum. The inclusive curriculum goes to the very core of who we are. Last year, our theme was servant leadership, and both the inclusive curriculum and servant leadership centres around promoting the values of fairness, trust and respect in our academic community. The government's higher education paper, published in May of this year, long after we set the theme for this conference, includes specific criteria to put providers' performance in achieving positive outcomes for disadvantaged students at the heart of the Teaching Excellence framework. And this is within the wider context that the government wants to double the proportion of people from disadvantaged backgrounds entering university from 2009 figure by 2020. And I think we're clearly very much ahead of our game in achieving these goals. And today's Teaching and Learning Conference, I think, is going to help us to move forward in these goals. And I've got 5 minutes, and I think I've used about 3.5 of them, so I have 1.5 minutes left for thanks. Firstly to Mahak Sharma and Saeed for tweeting, Facebooking, and all the stuff that Chris tells me goes under the name of digital marketing. LSBM TLC 16, in case you're any doubt, TLC is not about our servant leadership philosophy and tender loving care. It stands for Teaching Learning Conference on this occasion. We've got a big team of staff and student helpers who I'm not going to name individually. We have a dozen or so of them who've been helping with registration and support throughout the last weeks. Also, I want to thank our sponsors, Vital Source, and we're hearing from Vital Source in the presentation today. And Vital Source have again sponsored our e-learning prize for the tutor who's made the biggest contribution to e-learning. And our new sponsors this year, Millgate and ProWise, who, if you have any time at all today spare, make sure you have a look at that touchscreen television. It's supposedly for educational purposes. I'm looking at my front room at the moment. It's quite impressive. An enormous thanks to our Centre for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. A team of 4 who, as I looked around when I came in this morning, and this is, I'm afraid, the first time I've been into the venue this year. Last year I was a little bit more involved, and I've not been involved at all this year. And as I came into the venue this morning, I thought it looked like something prepared by a team of 40, not 4. I think it looks extremely professional and sets the tone for a great day ahead. That team of 4 is made up of Tony, our e-learning technologist, who has hitherto unheard musical talents, which at lunchtime today we'll be experiencing. Jago Brown at the back on the table over there, who is our Educational Innovation and Design Manager. Dr. Simon Taylor, who's our Director of Teaching and Learning, and our Head of E-Learning, Dr. Karen Stepanyan, who I think most of you know. Please take as much opportunity today to talk to him, as you won't have that pleasure next year. He's sadly leaving us in a month. And finally, a big thanks to all our presenters who have given up their time to come and share their thoughts on the inclusive curriculum with us today. That's all from me, and I will hand over to our senior lecturer and principal lecturer and senior course leader, Chris Munro, who is going to chair the morning session.